Hello class 10th students. So we are continue with the chapter federalism, and here today we discuss the topic about the decentralization in India. Till now we are discussed that the two types of government means there's a division of power between the center and state, means the two types of government we see, that is the central government and next one is the state government. Okay, so till now what we discussed that what is the federalism. Federalism is that in which we see the division of powers between the central level and the state level of government. So after that what happened, that after that we discuss the features of the federalism. Okay, and after that what we discuss the union list, concurrent list and the state list. Okay, and about the residuary subjects. So here what happened, that here today we discuss about the decentralization in India. Now till now we have the government's two or more tiers of government. Okay, now what happened, that but India is a vast country, means the large country, and India cannot be run only through these two tiers. Okay, so what happened, now we need a new tier, means the new division. Like that in terms of population, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia. Maharashtra is about as big as Germany. So it means that the states of India is already like a country like the Germany and the Europe. So what, that these states are internally very diverse. Okay, and what there is a need for power sharing within these states. Now the federal power sharing in India needs another tier of government below that of the state governments, means the first the central government, then state government, and what that the now the local government. Okay, so what happened here, that now we need the third tier. So now what it is, that this is the rationale for decentralization of power. So resulted a third tier of government, that is called the local government. Okay, so now what here, that central level of government, state level of government and the local level of government. Now here, that when power is taken away from central and state government and given to the local government, it is called decentralization. Understand that what, when power is taken away from central and state government and given to local government, it is called decentralization. Centralization means coming to a one center, and decentralization means that power is divided between different groups. In centralization, that all powers given to the center, but in decentralization the powers divided into central, state and local government. So why it is necessary that decentralization? So here it is, the decentralization is that there are large number of problems and issues which are best settled at the local level. Okay, means that the problem settled down at the local level is in the best manner. Like if you have problem in the Ongole, okay, and you directly or indirectly go to the chief minister or the state government, then what happened, that there you not get the best solution, because they are not understanding your problem as much as understand by the Tehsildar, DM or the local ward member or the BDO, that is block development officer. Okay, so what, they are more understand your problems rather than the upper authorities. So, and because they see that problem and face that problem with you, okay, then only they can solve your problems. So they also have better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage the things more efficiently. Okay, so besides the local government, it is possible people to directly participate in the decision making. Okay, here in the local government, the people directly participate in the decisions. Now this helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. What the democracy? Democracy is all about the participation of the citizens of a particular country. So here also that inculcate means develop a habit of democratic participation, as people are participating in the decisions. Now the local government is the best way to realize one important principle of democracy, that is the local self government. Okay, so what that is the local self government. Now the need of decentralization was recognized in our constitution. There have been several attempts to decentralize power to the level of villages and towns. Now here that villages and municipalities, urban areas were set up in all states and that were under directly control of state governments. Elections of these local governments were not held regularly, that is a problem. Local governments did not have any powers of resources of their own. Okay, so what happened, that there was very little decentralization in effective terms. Constitution says that there is a decentralization, but what happened when it come into force, that local governments do not have powers, do not have the resources, okay, of their own. They are always seeking the resources from the state government. Okay, and that elections also not held regularly. So this affect the thing of decentralization. Now there's a before, that is before 1992. Then after 1992, what happened? Constitution amended. Okay, and then get the third tier of democracy in 1992. Now it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections. Okay, now it is mandatory to hold the regular elections at panchayat level. Okay, after that, seats reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes. Okay, then what happened, that at least 1/3 of the seats reserved for the women. So seats reserved for the SC, ST and the other backward classes, and also reserved for the women, so that their representation is must reach to the government. Then made an independent institution, State Election Commission, who created to conduct the elections at panchayat and municipal level. Okay, after that, state governments are required to share some powers and revenue with local government bodies. Okay, so it is the state government who share some powers and revenue with the local government bodies. The nature of the sharing varies from state to state. Okay, now rural local government, popularly known as the Panchayati Raj. What it is called? The Panchayati Raj. Each village or a group of villages in some states has a Gram Panchayat. Okay, each village or a group of villages, what having the Gram Panchayat. This is a council consisting of several ward members. Gram Panchayat consisting ward members. As you see in Ongole, there are different wards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, so many wards. So that Gram Panchayat having the ward members, and that is often called the Panch, and a president, that is called the Sarpanch. Okay, these members are called Panch, and the president is also called the Sarpanch. They are directly elected by all the adult population living in the ward. Those who are above the 18 years or above the 18 years, okay, what they are directly give vote, okay, to the ward members, okay, those who are standing in the elections. Now here and it is the decision making body for entire village. The panchayat works under the all over supervision of Gram Sabha. Means here the Gram Sabha and here the panchayat. Okay, so that is work, panchayat works under the supervision of Gram Sabha. All the voters in the village are its members. Okay, and they meet twice or thrice in a year for approval of the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and to review the performance of the Gram Panchayat. Okay, they are held the meeting 2 times or 3 times in a year for that approval of the annual budget. Okay, and what that also review the work of the Gram Panchayat, that whatever work they do, that is completed or not, or in reality what is happening in the Gram Panchayat. Now this next one is the local government structure, that is at the district level. A few Gram Panchayat are grouped together to form what is called a Panchayat Samiti, block or mandal. Means the group of villages called the Gram Panchayat and the group of Gram Panchayat, that is together called the Panchayat Samiti or block or mandal. So the members of this representative body are elected by all the panchayat members in that area. Means the panchayat members are elected the members of the Panchayat Samiti. Okay, then all the Panchayat Samiti mandals in a district together constitute the Jila Parishad. Okay, so most of the members of Jila Parishad are elected. Members of the Lok Sabha and MLAs of that district and some other officials of other district level bodies are also its members. So some members are elected by the Panchayat members. Okay, some are the members of Lok Sabha, some MLAs and some other district officials. Okay, so Jila Parishad chairperson is called the Jila Parishad chairperson is the political head of the Jila Parishad. Similarly, local government bodies exist for urban areas as well. Municipalities are set up in towns. Big cities are constituted into municipal corporation. So in towns what it is, the municipalities, and in big cities it is the municipal corporation. Both municipalities and the municipal corporation are controlled by the elected bodies consisting of people's representatives. Municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. In municipal corporation such officer is called mayor. So in municipal corporation it is the mayor, and in municipalities what it is the municipal chairman. Okay, so here what we see the in local government In local government also there is a division, okay, that is gram sabha, then panchayat samiti, and after that what, that jila parishad. Okay, so this is a three tier structure in our country, that is at the central level, state level and local level. Okay, so this is three tier structure we find in our country, that is working for the welfare of the citizens. Now here this is the experiment in Brazil. Okay, you read this about the experiment in Brazil. Now here comes that this is new system of local government in largest experiment in democracy conducted anywhere in the world. There are now about 36 lakh elected representatives in the panchayat and municipalities all over the country. This, remember, is bigger than the population of many countries in the world. Constitutional status for local government has helped to deepen democracy in our country, because it is giving the constitutional status local government, then it is better for the democracy of our country. It has also increased women representation, that is a very good step, and voice in our democracy. At the same time, there are many difficulties also we see in the functioning of the local government. The Gram Sabha are not, that elections are held regularly and enthusiastically. Gram Sabha are not held regularly, okay, and some state government had not transferred significant powers to the local government, nor have they given adequate resources. We are thus still a long way from realizing the ideal of self-government. Still there are some space for the idealism in self-government, but still we have something in our hands in which we can solve the problems at the local level. So it is about the decentralization. Okay, so here we complete the chapter. Go through the video and try to understand the chapter. Thank you.